Ingcambu project was established in 2012, and I think it was motivated by my experience being in the community and facing the challenges that any other young people are facing. So the idea was that nothing for the young people without the young people. They have to get involved. And then also being in the community and working in the community, we found out that the government, they talk about community members, they have to establish businesses. They don't even have a skill. They're not educated. They are not motivated. How are they going to establish companies and create employment for other people? So the idea was to provide business development support, but not only for South Africa, but for the whole of Africa. And also to bring these industry catalysts of economic development, like your high-profile business people, and these aspiring young entrepreneurs together, so that they can be able to share their experiences and their challenges.
And that's why you've gone for this. You call it the inaugural African Entrepreneurship Business Conference for the eradication of poverty through education in Africa.
Yes.
Well, I suppose most people will say amen to that one, because education is the most important thing worldwide. And the only way we're going to eradicate poverty is by job creation, which is education as well. Is that what you're driving at? Yeah,
and I think that, but I'm also adding like entrepreneurship education. We don't have a culture like the Jewish culture. We were never taught to be entrepreneurs. Go to school, start, go and look for a job. Everybody's asking, where's jobs? I appreciate these political parties when they say that before elections, we're going to create 6 million jobs. But my question to them is how? They don't have an implementation plan. There's no plan.
Are there too many facets, like a diamond, to being in business today? First of all, one has to understand your product and how to manufacture or create it. Secondly, doesn't one have to understand how to market it as well? And thirdly, don't you have to understand how to protect it by understanding finance and so on? Is that the education areas you're looking at?
Yeah, you talk of money management, you talk of governance, you talk of to be a leader. I mean, being in business, you are also being a leader. And being a leader, you need to be a leader who can solve problems. No quick fix. So you have to be a leader who can solve problems. And also you have interpersonal skills. This conference will run for the next 10 years as a Paladin project. And what I would also like to achieve, I'm busy exploring to establish the African Institute of Innovation, where the high-profile business people, the aspiring young entrepreneurs, we can come together, share our success stories, our testimonies. We learn from each other. If Tony has a skill to do marketing and branding, and Oliver have got a skill to do administration, and if we don't have money, but we have these skills, and we complement these skills together, we're going to be able to build up a brand.
How much support have you got for this so far?
Like this time I've got support. It's coming all right. From the international community, it's good. From the South African community, the support is very slow.
And government?
It's very slow. It's very low.
Why do you think that is?
I think there is an issue in the black culture. Now, let me talk a little bit about the black culture. There is an issue of why this is done by a black man also. So there's the issue of envy there. And then they would like to sabotage. That's why you find out that my program director will be an international person there. They would like to sabotage, then they will use that same idea to do it.
What kind of topics are you going to be covering on this conference?
One of the big ones is like from Dr. Nick, is stimulating entrepreneurship through a culture of innovation. And that's where we talk about the social media, marketing and branding, as you were saying. How do we stimulate the economy? As Steve Jobs said, he said that to stimulate the economy, Africa needs more jobs. So stimulating the economy through a culture of innovation, also challenging the youth as agents of change. Change will not come if you don't change within yourself. We're also looking at leadership, because I think, as you know, our theme is entrepreneurship crisis in Africa. One of the challenges in Africa is because of the leadership. The other topics that we'll be covering, there is also eradication of poverty through entrepreneurship education, and entrepreneurship is a catalyst of job creation.
Okay, so you're actually creating entrepreneurship in South Africa more than it exists. The small to medium companies that will grow to big.
Yeah, I mean, let me give an example here. If, for example, if we want to create, let's say, 5 million jobs for the next 10 years, and we establish small, medium enterprises in South Africa, we got 9 provinces, and each province established 20,000 companies, and 20,000 companies times 9, and then each company employ 20 people, we can be able to have more than 5 million jobs in the next 10 years.
Now, this is the inaugural conference. Where do we go from here?
This conference will run for the next 10 years. Actually, we got 3 conferences next year. One is going to be, hopefully, it's going to be in Sandton, here in Sandton, and then we're going to have one in Ethiopia. As you know, Ethiopia is the second largest population in Africa, and they are looking for investment. They are encouraging investors to come and invest in Ethiopia. And then the third one, I'm still looking for the country. It might be in the USA or in Europe, Africa and abroad. So, but this conference will run for the next 10 years. We are also busy exploring the idea of establishing the African Institute of Innovation, where it's like an innovation district, where these aspiring entrepreneurs, young entrepreneurs, established companies, where they can come, share resources, knowledge, their case studies, testimonies, etc. So,
and from this point of view, have you approached any of the large institutions?
Internationally, I've managed. Locally, as I say, the response is negative. But internationally, I spoke to the High Commissioner of the USA, and they are willing to work with us. I'm busy with the German. I have a meeting tomorrow with the German embassy. Also, they would like to support. One of my volunteers, she is from Germany. She's the one that is supporting us. I will be going soon after the conference to Germany. I'm meeting with some few mayors and universities there. They would love to work with us. So soon after the conference, there's no rest. I'm working hard. And that's why we also, after the conference, we're going to develop a report book because we are tired with business as usual. So that's why we need to be able to monitor and evaluate. We have a crisis. We're going to find solutions during the conference. We put them down. Report book. Where are we going from there? What are you going to do? What is going to be your role? What is going to be your role? And then every 2, 3 months, 6 months time, we can be able to monitor and evaluate. We said we're going to do this. Do you manage to do it? If we didn't, why? So we're also going to develop a report book soon after the conference. And this report book must also go to the government. However, the International Relations Ministry, they are considering coming, but there is no final confirmation yet.